everybody? Welcome back to
the Ghost Socks.
Today, like I said, I had a burp. So today we are finishing up the SCP
explanation
by the Volgun part 2. We just realized we're gonna have to do like 3 parts. So
yeah, because this is a pretty long video.
It's pretty long. So we're gonna do 3 parts.
We're only 10 minutes in, and this is 35 minutes long.
Yeah,
so,
we got more videos to shoot too. So we're gonna do 3 parts. So
we'll make this 15 minutes.
Again, like, comment,
Okay, good.
Right. And again, like, comment, subscribe to us. Like, comment, subscribe to the Volgun. He make good SCP video.
Please do.
And without further ado, let's get this started.
Clean resume. Thank
Emotions
God.
and ideas it can evoke to keep that sense of mystery and gritty realism. There's still a lot to learn about the culture and vocabulary and universe of the site. You can find out and learn by yourself just by reading as much as you can. Playing it by ear, it's pretty fun that way. Or if you'd like to get a better handle on everything that's going on and a few more ways to drop you into the community, stay tuned. I still have a lot to show you.
Oh, I'm here. I'm
ready.
Next up, in-universe elements. Foundation structure and protocol. Security clearance represents how much information about an object you're allowed to know. If you've read through an SCP or two, you're bound to have seen these. Data expunged, redacted, or the text completely blacked out. These keywords are common hallmarks and tools of narrative of the SCP Wiki, signifying that the information has...
So, just to reiterate, these are huge organizations, just solely based on
capturing, containing, and protecting the way we live.
These things that can just destroy the universe if they wanted to.
Yes. It's their job to make sure we keep surviving.
Wow.
Like, because if one of them get out, like if a Keter get out, it's over. If SCP-682 get out, you will learn about him. I think you will like him. If SCP-682 get out, it is over. If nobody can contain him, let's just say the end of the world will be soon.
It would just be finished.
Yep.
I feel like the thing with a lot of these SCP monsters is just like, oh my god, this thing, it would destroy the entire universe if it was let out. And then you look at it and it's just like a puppy. or it's like an octopus. Or something like that. Or a table.
Or a pen.
You look at it and it's just like, what the fuck, this is it? And the doctor's just like, watch out, don't touch it. It'll kill your entire family. Don't touch it.
Or a stick.
It'll just...
No, for real though.
The stick will destroy the space-time continuum if you break it. Please don't do it.
Sometimes you'd be surprised. It'd be... Or toilet paper.
Toilet paper? Okay, alright. So, let's just get through this because I want to see this. I need to see more.
Let's just say you got a lot.
Has been classified to a higher
clearance
or has been cleansed.
We have a lot to get through.
It adds an element of horror through absence that is classic to the SCP fandom. For a great example of how security clearance levels can be used, read SCP-2317.
I will.
I gotta find a notebook now?
There are also many types of workers in the Foundation. Among them, we have containment specialists, researchers, and security tactical response officers. There are field agents who are out in the world undercover, looking for signs of anomalous activity, and mobile task forces, special units that are assigned to carry out certain dangerous jobs. The task forces document contains a list of mobile task forces along with their associated SCPs.
Some of them are not human.
The Foundation is usually thought of as a far-reaching organization, and so their bases are found across the globe, and sometimes outside of it. These bases can be sites or areas. For more information, read Secure Facilities Locations. The leaders of individual areas or sites are high-ranking Level 4 researchers known as Site Directors. There are few in the Foundation that rank higher than Site Director.
No!
And they are the O5
Council,
the ultimate leaders of the entire Foundation. The Overseer Council, abbreviated to...
Pause it here. So I just said, so how does someone actually apply for this SCP hunting government system here? Do you just like...
The thing is, do you want to apply?
Yes.
Are you sure?
I get powers, right?
No.
Why?
What power? What are we talking about?
Well, I'm sure you got. Okay. I'm sure they be fighting fire with fire.
Everybody. I'm gonna show him 5. Y'all comment down the 5 scariest SCP you can think of, and I'm gonna show him. And at the end, after the whole 5 video, he gonna tell y'all if he still want to work for the SCP or not. So comment down below 5 of the scariest SCP that you could think of.
But look, my thing is this, okay? If you're fighting SCPs, if you're trying to control these SCPs, you would think that you would go and try and fight fire with fire. You know what I mean?
Let's just say some of the mobile task force members are lucky.
They're lucky.
Some of them were lucky enough to have power. Some of them are just people doing their job.
The guns.
Yes.
Fighting things that could destroy the universe.
Yes. Sometimes it's more than guns. You'll learn more. You'll learn more.
Okay, maybe I don't want to be one now.
Nope.
That's kind of like being
Everybody, he said he want to be one. Comment down 5 scariest SCP. And then you make your final decision then.
That's like me going up against Thanos.
But no, like I said, it's not just guns. They got more than just guns.
More than just guns.
They don't just capture these things with guns. Some of guns don't work on some of them. So they got to think outside the box. So that's why they got stuff that can capture them. That's why they are captured. You don't capture something that can fight
can destroy the entire world. Yeah.
Sometimes the place where they like. I don't want to say more. I was about to spoil something, but I don't want to say it.
Let's keep going then. Before we spoil that shit.
Hold on. Let me make it big again.
Is a group of 13 people who manage all Foundation operations worldwide and have complete access to all information, redacted or not.
The council.
Their identities are classified for safety, and they are only referred to by their ID.
But they say
051 through 13.
Confusing me when I first
In addition, some versions of canon also include the existence of an administrator, the creator of the Foundation.
So he runs everything.
Finally, one of the most interesting parts of the Foundation are D-Class personnel, or Class Ds.
You don't want to be this.
The canon around D-Class personnel helps showcase the colder and more morally gray side of the Foundation. In order to experiment with and contain SCPs, the Foundation needs lab rats to test things
You didn't hear that.
No, I didn't.
The D-Class. Parts of the Foundation are D-Class personnel, or Class Ds. The canon around D-Class personnel helps showcase the colder and more morally gray side of the Foundation. In order to experiment with and contain SCPs, the Foundation needs lab rats to test things with.
They are the
D-Class. Oftentimes, they are recruited from death row or the prison population, serving as expendable personnel that are used to handle hazardous anomalies. In the early days of the site, a common headcanon was that all D-Class were executed at the end of the month. However, this idea has gone out of fashion as the site has evolved. For more interesting stories about Class D personnel, try reading entries from the D-Class contest.
The D stand for disposable.
Terms to know.
Or death row.
The SCP Wiki has created a wide set of terminology and new innovations, inventing concepts that are unique to the premise of the site and found nearly nowhere else in literature. You may want to know these terms before you dive in. Anomalous classifications.
Memes.
Memetic, or meme. A meme is any unit of information that can spread and transfer itself throughout society. Memetic effects deal with how the brain understands and reacts to media. It is a piece of data in the subject's mind that has an anomalous effect on that subject's physical or mental state that is spread when someone else becomes aware of the same information.
Oh God.
In particular, anomalous memetic agents are bits of hazardous information that are like a mental
I just
virus,
sent a meme to somebody
anomalous
last night.
reactions in people who are exposed to them.
As long as it wasn't
Anti-memetic or anti-meme.
Wait.
An anti-meme is the opposite of a meme. It has self-censoring properties. Anomalous anti-memes are perfectly mentally camouflaged, whether by making you unable to hold your perception of one in your short-term memory, or making you unable to comprehend the concept of its existence.
The bead.
The anti-meme.
Cognitohazard. A cognitohazard is something that is dangerous when we perceive it with one of the 5 senses.
Yes.
For example, a sound that causes you to bleed from every pore, or a smell that causes you to go insane. All mimetic effects are a subset of cognito
And that stuff
hazards,
can be stopped.
as in order to process the information, you have to sense it. Info hazard. Info hazards are anomalous effects that trigger when the SCP is described, referred to, or acknowledged. You don't even have to sense the thing to be affected by an info hazard.
You just gotta know.
You just have to know that it exists.
Yep.
It affects data written about the anomaly and people that are made aware of the existence of the effect.
Thank God this is fake.
Ontokinetic,
so-
reality bender.
Okay, so
Yes.
SCP, so that company goes after info hazard,
They go after
SCPs,
everything.
right?
Everything.
Which means if they know about it, they'll die.
Yes. That's why I think after they capture one of it or some of it, they automatically erase their memories about it. Or it erase the memory itself. Some of them do about itself. Like SCP something, I don't know what the number was.
So they have
It
to
was
just
in
kill
the
them.
SCP-500 too.
So they have to just kill them then.
No,
Because if they know about it...
no, you don't have. They got something that can wipe your memory,
Okay.
and it got different. It got class, like level 3, Amnestics. I don't know what's it called. I'm sorry if I'm butchering it. If you know what's it called, put it down low.
Mm-hmm.
But it got different. It got a different dose of it. It helped erase your memory, and you won't remember anything about it. That's what they use for people they're not trying to lose. Like if you are a doctor and you know about this, they put that they eject it, yeah.
Yeah.
So you forget about it, and you just keep on working, like because you forgot about what's going on or everything.
But that's weird that you can't experiment on something like that because you'll
Yes.
continuously learn about it.
Yeah.
So it's like, do they have to just keep giving them this shit?
I don't. That one.
They learn, then they forget. They learn more.
No, you don't learn more again. After you learn,
You
you
don't
forget.
learn more again.
You forget.
So you just keep forgetting it. They keep giving you a shot.
No, then no, you forget it.
Oh, you just forget and then you're off the project?
Yes, you gotta be
Okay.
switched out.
Okay, alright. God, that's a lot of work.
Exactly.
God
They
damn.
got. I want to say so much.
An ontokinetic being can manipulate
They
the
got-
They
laws
sound
of
evil as
reality,
hell. Like, you
Alright.
should just kill
through
it.
anomalous.
Let's just say they got a tree that makes human or
Tree of life.
soldier.
Tree of life.
Yes,
Yeah.
but it,
Info hazards
We'll
are
get to
anomalous
that one.
effects that trigger when the
we already-
SCP is
I just wanted to
described,
rewind,
referred
so
to,
we
or
didn't miss
acknowledged.
something.
You don't
Oh,
even
y'all
have to
missed
sense
something.
the thing to be affected by an info hazard. You just have to know that it exists. It affects data written about the anomaly and people that are made aware of the existence of the effect. Ontokinetic, or reality bender.
That's where we were.
An
This is
ontokinetic
dangerous.
being can manipulate the laws of reality, magic,
That's fucked up.
through anomalous means. Groups of interest contain and study reality benders, often in unethical ways, creating some moral crises for the Foundation.
Crises.
Anart, or an artist. Anart is short for anomalous art. Many people and groups aware of the existence of reality-breaking
yeah?
phenomena choose to explore it by creating often surrealist art with extra-normal properties. These
What?
people being called
Yeah.
an artists.
Wait, okay. So if I find out about an SCP,
Yep.
I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna paint this guy now. Like, does that mean that it'll get, like, magical
No.
property? Or
No,
someone who
no,
has
no.
magical properties, it's like, okay,
No,
if I paint this...
like the art itself. Like if you see your art, like a nice art, like you don't have to paint it. It's already painted and everything.
Yeah, so someone else already paint this.
Yeah, if you just see the art and if it's the SCP, it's already automatically got you.
If the art is
Yeah.
an SCP.
Yeah, like you don't
Okay.
like that's why it's saying like the art itself is the SCP.
Okay.
So you don't know what the art can do, or
You don't know what the art can do.
that's true.
Yeah.
Like some art.
You don't know its power.
Like the
Narrativic.
the major group is I think it's Are We Cool Yet? That's one of the group that
Are
do
We Cool
art. Yeah, and they do some good art. The art just kill people. That's it.
Or pataphysical. A narrative anomaly manifests itself within works of fiction, often affecting the content of the work involved by creating characters, changing the setting, or blurring the line between fiction and the reality.
That's like when
the pataphorical or pataphysical SCP explores narrative anomalies using the wiki itself as the narrative. It explores the idea of characters we write on the website attempting to communicate and manipulate us, and being aware of things on the website like author pages, deletions, and discussion forums.
That's how deep into like the people in the
technology
the
and engineering
knows that we writing about it.
Scranton Reality Anchor. Scranton Reality Anchors are technological devices used by the Foundation to essentially regulate consensus reality. They cancel out or prevent the effects of reality-bending entities and anchor down areas where the level of unreality is higher or lower than normal, counterbending it so that it matches the reality that we know and inhabit. Many contemporary authors have criticized the widespread use of SRAs as a catch-all for containing any type of structural or ontokinetic effect. Telekill. The SRA back in the old days. Except the problem was worse. In its original form, it was a metal that blocked all mind-affecting or compulsive effects. People went crazy over it and started using it in all their containment procedures, and mistakenly thought it also blocked mimetic effects. Scranton's rewrite of the article added some nuances and drawbacks to it, and its usage had fallen by the wayside anyway, as people have become more innovative with writing. Humes. A unit of measurement that measures the intensity of reality present in an area, crucial to understanding how SRAs and other technologies work. They are useful in quantifying how powerful reality-bending effects are relative to each other.
Like if somebody is a very powerful reality
K-class scenario, a term used to classify possible apocalypse scenarios, which the Foundation deals with on a daily basis when discussing the possible outcomes of dangerous effects or entities. The most common type is XK class, which describes a conventional destruction of the planet scenario. There are multiple minor ones whose exact definitions in canon are being argued over, including CK class, the restructuring of a reality, AK class, humanity goes crazy, SK class, the dominant species on Earth is no longer humans, and ZK class, reality universal failure. Amnestic, mind wipe drugs, a narrative tool used by authors to explain A, how the Foundation is able to keep the masquerade of secrecy, and B, to create stories dealing with memory and knowledge. In universe, these are simply chemicals that erase a normal human's memory of some amount of time. When the Foundation has to recover an anomaly in the real world or seriously messes up, these are used.
Your amnestics are used.
Yep. That's
things to read and do. There's more to the wiki than the SCP series. In this section, I open the door to the other areas of the site that are part of the Foundation universe, as well as answer some common questions about key but confusing parts of the site. What is SCP-1?
SCP-1.
In the early days of the site, when the wiki was just getting started, there was some debate over what should be this sacred number. 1.
Yep.
Everyone agreed that it had to be incredibly written. Everyone agreed that it had to be big.
Was it that
something
big,
deserving
tall
of the very
thing with
first
the big head
spot?
And the red face?
But nobody could agree
you know
who should do the
talking
honor
about,
of writing it.
Black Eye?
The answer?
that's not it.
Everyone
pale,
can write their
white
own
skin
vision of
and was naked.
SCP-1.
With the eye
Thus,
in the mouth,
the system
like a light
of
in the mouth.
proposals,
It
an
had,
author's
like,
individual
red
idea
paint.
of number one.
Okay.
They vary wildly and contradict each other. On the number 1 hub page, it says that the quote real number 1 is so secret that a number of false ones have been created. This explanation allows there to be multiple self-contradictory number 1s. One of them could be the true one to you. Or maybe you want a couple to be canonical at the same time.
They got a lot
Maybe
of
all of them are fake. maybe all of them are true.
They put that so
it all depends on your canon and how much you like a given proposal.
So we don't know
in
what
effect,
the original
SCP-1 proposals are canon builders.
They know. They're the only
Each one sets the tone for a particular author's vision of the Foundation itself. Creating an SCP-1 proposal is as easy as writing it and then submitting it just like any other SCP.
Yep.
Although, unless you're incredibly experienced, it will most likely get rejected by the community and deleted.
True.
As of November 2017, 19 SCP-1 proposals have been successfully posted.
And that was 17.
Each one is the product of a lot of work and a high concept.
30-something now?
Here are 6 of the 19. Number 1. Dr. Clef's proposal. The Foundation was established to prepare humanity for the Rapture, or Apocalypse. SCP-1 is the angel guarding Eden. Number 2. Dr. Mann's proposal. The first and only natural anomaly was a spiral path in New York. A group of ambitious scientists experimented with reality using this as the thread and created every single other anomaly in the database. Number 3. S. Andrew Swan's proposal. The SCP Foundation is aware of its fictionality. They are currently discussing ways to kill their authors.
That's an SCP.
Number 4.
Wait, I don't get it.
Rogit's proposal.
So that last one.
Keter class anomaly.
So that last one that was just there, I forgot what his name was, but how is that an SCP?
Because
that sounds like it was just a thought.
No. They know they fiction, but
what, the SCP company?
Yeah. The SCP itself know they fiction.
Know that what is fiction? The monsters?
No, like people are writing about them.
Oh, so he's proposing that the SCP company knows that we're writing about them?
Yes,
and we're trying to kill them.
No, like we writing more SCP. That's what making their world more chaotic, because everybody the authors itself keep writing about SCP.
And making them real?
Yeah, making them real in their world. So they try to kill the authors so all the SCP can stop coming.
Oh shit. What the fuck?
Anomalies are an inherent part of the universe and can be contained using each other. By releasing all Keter class anomalies, the universe can be manually restructured.
That's evil.
Yeah.
You're an
Number
idiot.
5.
Yeah.
Twisted Gear's Cactus proposal.
That one I don't like.
SCP-1 is one manifestation of the mechanical god worshipped by a clockwork cult,
That's what you're talking
which
about,
wreaked
clockwork.
havoc on the world before the military destroyed it.
Okay.
And finally, number 6. Kaladin's proposal. Humanity was originally a slave race whose suffering was harvested to create utopia on another planet. We escaped and then tried to cloak ourselves. The cloak failed, and our masters are trying to bring us home.
That's scary as fuck and very
It's my personal suggestion that you don't start with SCP-1.
I gotta read that one.
The proposals are usually quite complex and require some knowledge of Foundation lore, which is either played with, expanded on, or subverted. Read conventional SCPs before you take the number 1 deep dive.
For real.
I only heard of Ouroboros and fucking...
Special classifications, -EX, -J, and -ARC. There are other types of documents that use the basic SCP format and style, but utilized in a different way. This allows different stories with more diverse tones and themes to be told. The SCP-EX classification designates an SCP that is no longer considered anomalous. It is explained. The object or phenomenon in question still exists, but the Foundation has deemed it to be an acceptable part of consensus reality. Or it was a giant fake-out, or it turned out to be just a new scientific discovery. An SCP-J is a joke SCP, a parody SCP, in a sense. Joke SCPs are explicitly non-canon, using the SCP format to joke around or make fun of something for the benefit of the reader. They may riff on in-universe tropes, like overwrought security, over-the-top containment, cold posting, or bad original characters. Or they may parody things like food poisoning, bad drivers, easily angered people, or that one movie. They may even make fun of the elements in the other popular SCP canons. Ultimately, a joke SCP is just a way to make the reader laugh.
Yeah.
If a joke SCP is not well written and very funny, it'll be downvoted.
Yes, they have to be funny.
And finally, we have SCP-ARC, archived SCPs. These are usually legacy pages from the very old days of the site, when standards were low and the mass edit had not been conducted yet. While most of these SCPs were deleted, some of them needed to have text archives due to their usage in other tales or still existing SCPs, or because they were historically important. AR-seeing is no longer in use since the opening of Series 2, 3, and 4, and you will most likely never need to read one of these.
Alright, everybody.
That was very interesting, I thought.
That was interesting.
Hearing all of their proposals and shit like that, too, I actually love that. Especially that last proposal that guy made. I think his name was Callinan or something like that.
Yeah, I like that one.
Talking about how we gotta slaves
get back
to an alien race.
We gotta get back to
and
our
we're
masters.
Getting back.
First of all,
how the fuck would we know that?
First of all, how many masters we got?
We have a good bit of masters.
Like sweet Jesus.
We have Jesus.
Yep.
As one of ours, or God, or whichever one is that.
Yeah.
We have an alien race.
Yep. Waiting for us to come back home.
Who else?
We got the Greek gods.
The Greek gods. The Norse gods.
The Norse god.
Odin.
The Indian god. We got
the Egyptian gods. What's his name?
Ra.
Ra, yeah, waiting for us.
Wind Dragon of Ra.
Yep.
What else? We said the Norse god.
We did say the Norse gods.
The African gods.
The African gods.
The white gods.
Which I'm pretty sure is just Jesus again. So now we're going in circles.
Yeah. There's a lot of gods.
There are too many gods. We cannot count them all.
We got too many masters.
We tried to count.
We got to stop with these masters.
Yeah, we are
independent people.
I am my own master. Just let you know that. Exactly.
You are what you are.
I am what I am.
All right, everybody. That'll be it for the video because this video is long.
We'll make a part 3 to this.
It is
we have
almost
10 minutes
30
left,
minutes. Yeah, we got like, comment, subscribe to us. Like, comment, subscribe to the Volgun. He did a great job on this.
He really did.
And again, we'll see y'all in the next video, which is gonna be the next day.
Peace out.
Peace out from the Ghost Socks.
Love y'all.
Love y'all. Peace.